क्या मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स ये कहना चाहती है कि वे लोग जो भारत के नागरिक नहीं हैं उनको भी पासपोर्ट दिया जाता है?
जिस राह पर देश जा रहा है, अब ऐसा लगता है कि आने वाले दिनों में बीजेपी का मेंबरशिप का कार्ड सिटीजनशिप का हो जाएगा।
This is a joke. I think the MEA is confused and the minister needs to be sacked for his mess up in foreign policy and now constant mess ups like this and the trouble he is giving to Indian citizens abroad.
Don't be surprised if tomorrow the government comes up with a clause saying that if you become a member of the Bharatiya Janata Party, you prove yourself to be the citizen of India.
पासपोर्ट नागरिकता का प्रमाण नहीं है तो नागरिकता का प्रमाण है क्या? मोदी जी का चरण वंदन।
Viewers, the opposition and the entire ecosystem are throwing a massive tantrum over a simple, clear statement from the Ministry of External Affairs. The MEA has reiterated, and reiterated is the word, that passport is not a proof of citizenship. The opposition wants you to believe this is some new Modi government conspiracy. Now, let me shred this nonsense with facts. Viewers, first the law on citizenship. Who decides if you are an Indian citizen? It is the Citizenship Act of 1955. Viewers, this law was written and passed by the Congress government led by Jawaharlal Nehru more than 70 years ago. It clearly says citizenship comes by birth to Indian parents or by naturalization after following proper rules. This law has been placed for decades. The Modi government has not changed even one word in the basic definition of who is a citizen. The law is well settled and it belongs to the Congress era. Now let us talk about the passport. And let me make it easy for everyone to understand. The passport comes from the Passport Act of 1967, another old law. A passport is simply a travel booklet given by the government so that you can go abroad, travel abroad. And to get this booklet, you must already prove you are a citizen by showing other documents like birth certificates and other such documents. That is the law. It is settled. There is nothing new, nothing is changed by this government. So what is behind the sudden outrage? I'll tell you. The opposition has made a habit of fear-mongering and hypocrisy. Remember their shameful Kagas Nahi Dikhayenge campaign? What was said then? They told people, don't show your papers to the government officials when they come asking for it. They spread lies that the government would throw people out of their homes. They used scare tactics to create panic. Now these same people are angry that a passport alone may not be enough in every situation. Viewers, they want confusion to continue so that they can keep playing politics with India's identity and, more importantly, our national security. And viewers, let me just say it as it is, as it should be said, like I always do. If anyone truly cares about one clear, definitive proof of citizenship, then they must support the National Register of Citizens, NRC. Once NRC becomes a reality, it will become the one official proof that settles citizenship for every Indian, once and for all. No more doubts, no more arguments, no more room for propaganda. Illegal immigrants will be identified and genuine citizens will have rock-solid proof. That is why they demonize NRC at every step. They are scared of transparency, viewers. These compulsive critics are driven by pure hypocrisy. They have a problem showing documents to any authority. They told people not to show kagas, yet now they pretend to care about proof of citizenship. Now, there is one post in particular by a Congress leader, it's a tweet in Hindi, that I want to highlight. It's a remark by Congress. They asked if passport is not a proof of citizenship, what is? It's a post in Hindi. It will come up on your screen. It's by Congress spokesperson Supriya Shrinet. She's saying, is it the photo of Modi's feet or the cap of RSS that is a proof of citizenship? In as many words, she said this. Viewers, the Congress forgets this entire framework is Congress era law and the Modi government has made zero changes to it. So without any delay, let me open this up. Sanju Verma, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Tehseen Poonawala. Akhil Chitre is the spokesperson of the Shiv Sena UBT. Anish Gawande, national spokesperson of the NCP, Sharad Pawar. We will be joined by Dr. Sumansi Raman in a bit. And Karan Verma completes the panel. Tehseen, and I want to pull out that post by Supriya Srinate while we discuss this. Can we please put that on screen? That's the post. Now look at what she says. अगर पासपोर्ट प्रूफ नहीं है सिटीजनशिप का, तो सिटीजनशिप का प्रमाण क्या है? मोदी का चरण वंदना, बीजेपी का आईडी, आरएसएस की टोपी. Tehseen, will you tell or care to tell Ms. Srinate that this is a Congress era law that we are talking about? Nothing has been changed.
Thank you, Pranesh, for having me on the show. Good evening. Good evening to all my fellow panelists and to all your viewers. There are two defenses that the BJP has come up with and the incompetent government has come up with. Number one, this is Nehru's era law. So, of course, Anish, we blame Nehru for everything in this country. Nehru is at fault in 2026. The thousands of laws that they changed blaming Nehru, they couldn't do this. Number two, I thought, and I would like to the viewers of Times Now to give a feedback, tweet and give a feedback. Can non-Indians get a passport? If somebody hypothetically gave up his citizenship or her citizenship, can they retain their passport? Is that legally allowed? What the MEA has done is nothing short of criminal. By stating a legal fact which they have stated, they have put 140 crore Indians in jeopardy. They have created doubt on the most authenticated and trusted document of ours abroad, and they put our own citizens down abroad, thereby putting their citizenship at risk. Now, allow me to elaborate further upon this. The passport is not a document of citizenship. That's true. The Aadhaar Act explicitly says
passport alone. Tehseen, passport alone is not a proof of citizenship. Alone is the operational word here.
The voter I-card alone is not the proof of being a voter by the Election Commission of India. Just like the Aadhaar, in which you get every services, is not a proof of being an identity. So I don't know. So where is the identity? The only thing is the birth certificate as per the Citizenship Act or other aspects like you spoke, but the birth certificate. 38% of Indians in 2026, 38% of Indians who are born don't have a birth certificate. In this era of blaming Nehru, could we not have, instead of going to the rubbish NRC, which I will come to you, actually done that digitization? 38% don't have. Now let me come to the second part of it. Me, Tehseen Poonawala, and I'll be glad to get my documents. There is a mismatch in the spelling of my father's name in the PAN card and versus something else. So when somebody as privileged as me has problems, imagine the people who have problems, and therefore the NRC in Assam has 19 points.
Tehseen, now don't trivialize this by saying there is a spelling mismatch. If there is an error, get it fixed. I have done so. There was a spelling error in my document. I got it fixed. It's not difficult.
Request you, but folded hands, allow me, don't interrupt me. Yeah, because of these documents, I will get it done. I am privileged. Please allow, and you are privileged. Please allow me to make the point I'm making. This is not about us. Please allow me. I request you. Because of this mismatch in the documents, 19.06 lakh people were left out of the silly NRC mandated in Assam. As a result of which, a 108-year-old woman who voted in the first elections of India, who was in the first NRC of India in Assam, was left out. Somebody who fought in Kargil was left out. The courts had to give their right. We've seen that repeat. So what this government has failed. Yes, I get that there was a law.
No, you're not getting the point. Tehseen, courts have. And there are several court judgments, and you know them as well. You are just cherry picking facts. I'll tell you what happened in Assam. 1 minute. People with passports were sent back. They were declared non-Indians because they were illegal infiltrators. They had passports.
again, let's come back to the issue at it. None of the passports are issued by the state governments. They're only issued by a union government after verification and police verification, various other verifications, including biometrics. So if the union government today is failing with the digitization and they had actual functioning passports, that shows the level of incompetence of this government in 12 years. Having put that out, let's come to the more pertinent issue. You're right, legally, it's only the birth certificate. But 38% Indians today, babies today, in 2026 don't have birth certificate, which is the failure of this government, not of Nehru. And the third part...
How is it? No, 1 minute. No, Tehseen, 1 minute. How is this 38% number that you're quoting, how is it a failure on part of the government? Now, there are child births that, that necessarily don't happen at hospitals. So the onus is on the parents to go and get their children registered.
And
so if they are not doing it, how is it government's fault? If you want to avail scheme, benefits, documents, etc., line mein to lagna padega, kaagaz to dikhana padega.
To solve this problem, rather than targeting NRC, which this problem will still exist because 38% don't have a birth certificate, why didn't you actually get birth certificates as a mission for India, which would have been simpler and solved the problem? Rather, you complicated it with NRC and left 19 lakh people out of it.
So, are you for NRC, Tehseen?
I am for documentations.
Yeah, so one definitive proof of NRC, Tehseen Poonawalla endorses.
Once you have the documentations, totally matter.
Why are you now shying away? For all the bluster for 6-7 minutes, take a stand, Tehseen Poonawalla. You're so privileged. Take a stand.
My stand is clear, sir. Any citizen register that should happen on National Register of Certification and Citizenship that should happen on documents that are verified, digitized, and first get the documents in order before making a register. Without that, you will only put people in trouble, as you did 19 lakh people on whose head a sword hangs in Assam, which is why the Chief Minister of Assam rejected NRC, went back to Supreme Court and said this is a flawed
I'll tell you what happened in 2006. The UPA was in power then. 2006 Supreme Court, in the case of Sarvananda Sonowal versus Union of India, I don't want to waste the time by reading out what the ruling was. But there is no one document that establishes citizenship. It ends there. Sanju Verma, I'll come to you. Let's hear you'll have to respond because they are saying this is a massive failure on part of the Modi government. Dr. Raman is on the show. Dr. Raman, good evening. What are your views on what the MEA has said about the passport, sir?
First of all, it is extremely badly worded. They should have had a detailed explainer in terms of clarifying what it was. 95% of Indians in this country, a passport is a document of citizenship. Whether you like it or not, whether that is legally correct or not, that is the common understanding that people have. And I'm not talking just about illiterate people, I'm talking about literate people as well. Now, we can go and argue saying that, actually the Supreme Court has said this comes under Citizenship Act, that comes under Passport Act. To the people of this country, they are blissfully ignorant of all these legal stuff. So
and we want them to be blissfully ignorant.
No, we need to, the statement should have made it clear. Now, there are zillions of senior citizens who don't have birth certificates, who have a passport. They don't have birth certificates, 70, 80, whatever. And as Tehseen said, there are even children born.
Yeah,
in
so
the
there is a provision for that.
Have...
I think, you need a birth certificate only if you were born after 87 or 88. I'm not sure about the year. So there are provisions. It's all there, Dr. Raman. If you read the first line of the Passport Act, it makes it clear. Now, this can't be someone's argument that, look, the law can be whatever it is. But because we don't know the law, हम जो सोचेंगे वही होगा. It doesn't work like that.
It is a citizenship document then for somebody born before 1980, whatever. What is a citizenship
There are
document?
many, sir, land records, a letter by the Tehsildar. There are many such documents that you can produce and get a passport or other such documents. All provisions are there. Now, are you saying, 1 minute, sir, are you saying, Dr. Raman, let's get it out of the way. Are you of the opinion that when the Modi government came to power in 2014, they changed the rules so as to, disempower, disenfranchise people? Don't let them make passports.
Pranesh, logically, a passport is a document of citizenship until and unless it is challenged, when it need not necessarily be a document of citizenship.
Yes,
that
sir.
is
Sir,
the right
just add
position.
legally also, not just logic. Legally, things are different. And, let's go by the rule of law. Anish Davande, I'm intrigued by your tweet, Anish. You're a well-read man. And don't fall for these claps by Tehseen Poonawala. You're not as privileged as, or maybe I don't know, as Tehseen is. He gets away with a lot of bluster on television.
Pranesh, the problem is this government has not yet told us why do we need proof of citizenship. Turn this logic on its head. You don't need to be a citizen to get a passport. You don't need to be a citizen to get an Aadhaar card. You don't need to be a citizen to get a voter ID card. You don't need to be a citizen to get a ration card according to this government. So why do you need to be a citizen is the big question, right?
Just flip your arguments. No, just flip your arguments and say what you said. You will have the answer, Anish.
Now let me complete. The only reason this government brings up this bogey of citizenship is before an election. Hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants in Delhi before the Delhi election, after the Delhi election, bhul gaye. Hundreds of thousands of illegal Bangladeshi immigrants in Mumbai before the BMC elections, after the election, bhul gaye. Hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants across the country before the UP elections, after that you will forget it, right?
But how is the Passport Act into
NRC
election, Anish? Now, it's not adding up. Sanju Verma, respond to what you've heard from Tehseen, Dr. Raman and Anish.
Okay. First and foremost, let me make one thing very clear. The fact that passport is not a definitive, the focus is on the word definitive. It's not a definitive document of citizenship, is a settled legal position why the Bombay High Court's verdict of 2013. So ये 13 साल पहले Bombay High Court ने स्पष्ट कर दिया था for the Congress darbaris to come here and lecture the BJP government saying, oh, BJP is incompetent, so on and so forth. थोड़ी शर्म करो. You guys have been booted out in 3 Lok Sabha elections in a row और अब भी आपकी अक्कल ठिकाने नहीं आई. Second point, what is the Aadhaar? Because people say, is Aadhaar not citizenship proof? Aadhaar is a proof of identity. And the Supreme Court has said that even a foreign national who stays in India for more than 182 days can get an Aadhaar card. Point number 2, why is the PAN card not a proof of citizenship? Because the Supreme Court has again stated that PAN card can also be given to an NRI or a foreign national or somebody holding an OCI card because it is usually used for KYC authentication in financial transactions. Next comes the voter ID card. Why is it that is not a proof of citizenship? ये भी मामला Supreme Court तक गया. And Supreme Court said the voter ID is not an definitive proof of citizenship in isolation because NRIs can also get voter IDs. And since there have been instances of multiple EPICs being granted, EPIC numbers being granted to citizens, that is why voter ID in isolation is not a proof of citizenship. So what is it that is a proof of citizenship? Aadhaar card, proof of identity. PAN card, proof of identity. Voter ID, proof of identity, age and address. So citizenship ka proof hai kya? So the legal position on this aspect is also clearly settled. In the Citizenship Act of 1955, it clearly says you need multiple documents. It could be your, as in the concerned individual's birth record, his or her parents' birth record, bank passbook, or a post office passbook,
Right.
or electoral records. And last but not the least, Pranesh ji, please, I heard Tehseen for 7 minutes, 20 seconds. If you are born between 26 January 1950 and 1st January 1987, you are automatically an Indian citizen. If you are born on or after July 1st, 1987, you are an Indian citizen if at least one of your parents is an Indian citizen at the time of your birth. And last but not the least, if you are born on or after 3rd of December 2004, then if both your parents are Indian citizens, then you are an Indian citizen. So the point legally is very well explained, and Article 5
Okay.
of the
The law is settled. Karan, what is the confusion here?
Pranesh, unfortunately, legal luminaries, I mean, the likes of Kapil Sibbal and barrister Asaduddin Owaisi today are spreading this misinformation. Just shows you how notorious they actually are when it's settled in law. Even a cursory reading of the law makes it amply clear. And who brought the Passport Act in 1967? Was it the Modi government in 1967, which said in the section 20 that it can be issued to even non-citizens? Was it Modi government that made the Bombay High Court say in 2013 that passport alone is not a proof of citizenship? Sumansi Raman just said that whether you like it or not, 95% believe that a passport is the proof of citizenship. Sumansi Raman, we are not allowing people to be blissfully ignorant. They cannot be blissfully ignorant. They have to wake up to the reality. There were 90% people perhaps blissfully ignorant and thinking that Jawaharlal Nehru stands for freedom of speech and expression and he's brought us freedom. But people have woken up to the reality and Congress has been set aside today. So people have to wake up to reality of what really it constitutes as a document for citizenship. But the problem, Pranesh, is that today is the auspicious 51st year of the emergency imposed by Indira Gandhi. So they do not want to follow the law. They want to follow the whims and fancies of what Supriya Shrineth feels, of what Rahul Gandhi feels. They don't care that it's clearly mentioned what do you need to be a citizen. But I am happy today that Tehseen and others from the opposition today have made a valid case that an NRC is the need of the hour. And after all, it should be implemented. The Citizenship Amendment in 2003, addition of section 14, made it clear that NRC should be done to ascertain once and for all who is a citizen of this country. And it's
I don't think
opposition
Tehseen
and the
will,
government
if you
of the
put
day,
Tehseen on test on NRC, he will say, I am less privileged to take a position. I will not take a position because he'll be in trouble. I know Tehseen can't say I back the NRC. Tehseen, do you back the NRC?
Can I just explain this?
No, don't explain. Just tell me, do you back the NRC, Tehseen?
I'll explain this. Even if Suman and I were to back the NRC, it is Himanta Biswa Sharma who doesn't accept it. The BJP doesn't accept it. They are saying it's a flawed process. And
Yeah,
that's
so
what we say.
if you take a position, you can say that, look, I back the NRC, but the BJP does not call them out.
To you how we back the NRC. May I explain this to you? Instead of creating panic on the document that is your most important identity, your passport, at least abroad, if the government can be sensible and get people easy accessibility to birth certificates would have been more important.
That is a fair point. Tehseen, that's a fair point. I agree with it.
Just allow me one more fair point. When I fought Aadhaar, on this panel, I fought Aadhaar in the Supreme Court. KTS Tulsi was my lawyer. Tushar Mehta sir got up opposite me and he said, in my petition, this was because we didn't want banks and mobiles to be compulsory linked, and we won that. He said, look, this is Tushar Mehta, and this is in the judgment. He said, look, at the end of the day, your Citizenship Act defines who a citizen is. Your Aadhaar card isn't. He was right there. But for practical purposes, you have the passport. Now, in the Supreme Court, they say one thing.
No, 1 minute. So, practical purposes, you have the you have your passport. It is one of the documents, not the only one, Tehseen. That is the difference. It is as simple as it gets. No, 1 minute. On the accessibility bit, about making it easy for people to access documents, I am with you. Let me also get Dr. Raman. Tehseen, please. Okay, go ahead.
If you and I are in a foreign country, will that foreign country trust our birth certificate or the passport? What will they trust? It's the passport. And they are saying that's not. Now you put 140 crore Indians in jeopardy abroad.
Who's in jeopardy? Who's in jeopardy? What law? Okay. Now, just answer one simple. What law has the Modi government changed, Tehseen? Tell me.
Sorry?
Has the Modi government changed any law?
That is the problem. They change laws that don't require to be changed. Where they should bring in technology and integration, they do nothing. And
all of this is, Tehseen, all of this is, you're doing. Congress era laws. Whose idea was NRC? Tell me. NRC was whose idea? Who came up with NRC?
For it. Why Nehru? We blame Aurangzeb for it.
Okay. Dr. Raman.
Yeah. First of all, I mean, it is great. It is absolute news to me that India voted out the Congress because they felt Nehru did not, they disagreed and they saw the truth that Nehru was not a champion of freedom of speech. This is really an amazing theory. I think it should be documented. And,
no, sir. Nehru wasn't voted out. He died in office. He was the first unelected prime minister and he stayed prime minister till he was alive. No one voted him out.
No. Congress lost now because people saw through Nehru 40 years or 50 years after his death. That is the point that was made by Mr. Karan Verma, but forget that for a moment. Let us first look at what kind of confusion this statement causes. Now, you say that passport is one of the documents for citizenship, right? Is it the primary document for citizenship? If not, do I walk around with a, if somebody challenges me and says you're not an Indian citizen and I don't have a birth certificate, do I walk around with my bank passbook? What is the, and how can it be so discretionary? There is some
It is not discretionary, sir. There is no discretion. I'll tell you, if there is a dispute on, I'll tell you, viewers, and listen to this. This is the law. There is no discretion here. 1 minute. If there is a dispute, Dr. Aman, please, just listen to this, sir, and you can counter me. If there is any dispute on the citizenship of a person, the court will go by the Citizenship Act, not by the Passport Act. That is the law. Sanju Verma.
Thank you. You know, Pranesh, I need to reinforce once again. Today we have 145 crore people in India. That's our population. Only 10 crore people officially have passports, which means 6.89% of India's population have passports. So, iska matlab ki baki 93-94% people who do not have a passport are not Indian citizens. Is that what Supriya Srinath is trying to imply? Is that what the Darbari ecosystem is trying to imply? And another very interesting point I found out. 23% of the passports issued in India come from only 2 states, Kerala and Maharashtra. तो मतलब जो जनसंख्या बाकी स्टेट्स में है और जिन लोगों के पास पासपोर्ट नहीं है वो क्या भारत के नागरिक नहीं है? So I have turned the argument on its head.
Akhil Chitre, Tehsin 1 minute. Akhil hasn't spoken. Akhil Chitre जी, जब लॉ इस पे क्लियर है, सिटीजनशिप एक्ट है, पासपोर्ट एक्ट है, और लॉ क्लियर है कि ये डॉक्यूमेंट्स चाहिए, सिर्फ एक डॉक्यूमेंट सिटीजनशिप प्रूफ नहीं है, तो फिर इस तरह की मिसलीडिंग स्टेटमेंट्स क्यों आ रही है ऑपोजिशन की तरफ से?
Thanks for bringing me in. I definitely understand, and everybody on the panel understands over here, that Citizenship Act 1955 clearly states that it is by birth, descent, registration and naturalization. But one more thing I need to understand from this panelists, whoever are supporting whatever the statement the government has made, voter ID, if voter ID is not citizenship proof, then how are the voters allowed to vote for an Indian democracy? If Aadhaar card is not a proof, I can understand it is an identity card which has been issued by the Modi government. The Modi government was emphasizing on Aadhaar card that time, stating that it will be a proof of identity and proof of residentialship, etc., etc. But now one simple question I am asking over here on your panel right now, just tell me then what will be the proof? What will be the proof of citizenship then? Why does the government do not underline and state clearly? Because the people over here are totally confused. You can clearly say what is the proof.
Sir, मैं confusion clear कर देता हूँ. अखिल चित्रे जी, मैं यहाँ क्यों बैठा हूँ? Confusion clear करने के लिए ना. आपने सवाल पूछा, अभी आप संजू वर्मा, आप एक बार बता चुकी हैं, वो आपकी भाषा नहीं समझे. मैं बता देता हूँ, शायद समझ जाएंगे. Mr. Chitre, let me tell you the answer to your question. Mr. Chitre, listen to me. In order to establish one's citizenship, normally he may be required to give evidence of his date of birth, place of birth, name of his parents, their place of birth, and citizenship. This is what the Supreme Court has said in the Sarvanand Sonowal versus Union of India case. This is the answer to your question. Karan.
Precisely. And what did it say in answer to the IMDT Act, which was brought by the Congress to defend the illegals? तो अब आप समझो प्रणेश इस बात को. Congress is the one who constitutes this citizenship law back in 1955, which has been amended thrice, by the way, in which it says that the only way for citizenship is by birth, descent, registration and naturalization. It then brings in the Passport Act 1967. Again, who is the Prime Minister? Indira Gandhi. Aadhaar, who brings in? Pranab Mukherjee and Chidambaram, they go on record saying it multiple times, it's a proof of identity. खुद ही आपने बोला it's a proof of identity, and if ever it is contested in courts, will the courts go on these issued documents, because there can be a flaw in issuing documents, or will it go to the brass tacks that whether you are born here, did you get a naturalization certificate here, what is your descent? Of course it will check these brass tacks. The need of the hour, Akhil ji, is an NRC, जिसको आप लोग सब पूरा opposition oppose करता है. आज बोलिए आपकी हमें confusion हटाना है अखिल जी का. हमें NRC चाहिए. We will support this government. Let's bring in NRC. Even I want this confusion to end.
अखिल जी को शिंदे सेना से फोन आ गया. पता नहीं कहां से आया है. You know, he is on a call right now. I don't know, Tehseen, maybe you are aware. Sanju Verma, but you know, let's focus on what Dr. Raman said. And it's, you know, in many ways, it's a genuine question that instead of, you know, having all these documents, which is the law, there is no dispute on it, we can have a simplified process or look towards having a simplified process, because, you know, we are now thinking of one nation, one election and things like that. So why not have one identity?
I think that's an excellent question. And I think, you know, taking off from what Karan said, let's get one thing very clear. The Modi government introduced one nation, one tax, GST. One nation, one mobility card. Ek mobility card say you can use that in any bus, train in any part of India. You could be staying in Mizoram, you can use it in Mumbai. Then we have one nation, one BIS card to standardize the quality of products. We have one nation, one health card. आपके पास आयुष्मान health card है, आप दिल्ली में रहते हैं, आप असम में भी उसका इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. So now the question arises, do we need one nation, one election? Yes. Do we need one nation, one citizenship card? Whether that is called NRC or by any other name, it does not matter. The time has come for one nation, one citizenship card. और जो लोग ये कहते हैं कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे, भाई साहब, कागज तो आपको दिखाना पड़ेगा. आपके ancestors ने भी दिखाया था, आपको भी दिखाना पड़ेगा. And my final point to Mr. Chitre, I repeat, if you are born before 1987, you are automatically an Indian citizen. If you are born after 1987 but before 2003 December, even if one of your parents is an Indian citizen, you are virtually an Indian citizen by default. And
Okay,
if you are
Dr.
born
Raman,
after
Dr. Raman,
December-
do you agree with this idea that we should simplify it and, you know, move towards one document, whatever you want to call it?
No, we should move towards more multiple documents. Like Aadhaar took several years and, you know, it went through a huge level of upheaval before it got stabilized. Like that, we must put our citizens through more hardship, create more complications that will keep the, you know, government busy, and it can be to their discretion. They can be, you know, having the authority to decide whether we are Indian citizens or not.
Right.
It can be completely discretionary.
Okay.
I don't understand this at all. The system has functioned for several years. You try to do something to improve the system. You don't try to start by saying, I will break down the existing system and then start with and figure out how
But
to build
sir,
something
they haven't
else.
done anything. Status quo prevails. Nothing has been changed, Dr. Raman. I get your outrage. I get the intent of simplifying the process. But you can't fault the Modi government because they haven't yet started.
Make
No,
such
no,
a
1 minute.
Can't you give the full explanation as to what the
Okay.
system
Let me go
actually
over the
entails?
panel and ask about NRC. Anish, do you back the NRC? Definitive proof of
Not at all.
citizenship?
Not at all. The NRC as it stands today is half-baked, illegal and unconstitutional and must be opposed tooth and nail.
Who brought in the NRC? Whose
The
idea was it?
NRC as it stands today, Pranesh, I'll give you one simple example if you let me complete. The NRC as it stands today when combined with the CAA will ensure that the 38% who don't have birth certificates today and a larger percentage who don't have birth certificates tomorrow will have to go before a tribunal which on the basis of religion will decide whether or not they stay
But
in this
Anish, why
country.
should Indian citizens go to the tribunal? CA is not for Indian citizens. Anish, why? I mean, who's giving you all this brief to say things on national television? You're a well-read man. I'm saying it for the second time. Why are you confusing CA? This is what we saw at the height of the, you know, protest in Delhi. This fear-mongering. कि आपकी citizenship छीन ली जाएगी. CA has got nothing to do with Indians. This is to give shelter to persecuted religious minorities around India. That's all. Tehseen, you back the NRC? Yes or no, please?
I back Anish, what he said, and I'll explain why quickly.
No, don't explain. So you don't back the NRC. Taran, do you back the NRC?
So, by the way, NRC is 100% constitutional. In the amendment to the Citizenship Act of 2003, there was a section 14A added which mandates the NRC. So, Anish, you are wrong when you say it's not legal, it's constitutional. It's
That's
a part
okay.
of the
Give him that
Constitution, no?
rhetorical flourish. You know, it happens. Just to maintain the flow, he said it is unconstitutional, etc., etc. We don't hold it against Anish. It's okay. We'll have to move on. I thank all of you for joining us on debate number 1. Viewers, let's shift our attention